Aloha and welcome to Chapter 17, the relay and the motor. We're going to be going over project 17.1, the relay and motor here. We're going to be using a push button switch to indirectly control the motor via relay. So this is an interesting project. It's probably deceptively one of the more complicated ones. There's a lot of small traps that you could fall into here. So let's be very careful when we're making this. We also have a larger chance of burning things out here. So let's take a look at what we've got. So what's going to be needed? We're going to need two 10K resistors. I always identify them by knowing that you got brown on one end, you've got a red on the inside right before you get a line in the middle of the end. Then the other one is similar. It's the 1K resistor. We only have one of those. We're going to have brown on one end, then the little brown band right before it, and another band. Then we've got the 220Ks, which we should be used to by now with the two red bands at the end. We're also going to be using our NPN transistor that we used before. We're also going to use a new component here, the relay, another new component, the motor, our friendly old button. We're going to use our handy dandy little LEDs, and we're going to use a diode, which is another new one for us. This is a lead emitting diode. This is just a regular diode. So, and then we're going to use probably 10 or 12 jumpers for this. So the first component that we're going to learn about is the relay. This you have to understand essentially that when you run power to one end of it, you're going to, and you connect this, it's going to go through a bit of an inductor, the coil here. And what's going to happen is you're going to switch essentially your connectivity, your little switch here that connects from one, it's going to flip over to two here. So let's scoot on down, and it's going to show you basically, this is not really a good way to look at it, but well, it also talks about the inductor. Sorry, let me get back to that. The inductor is this part here, the coil. And essentially, for the coil, just know it's an energy storage device that converts electrical energy into magnetic energy. Generally, it's just this winding coil with a certain amount of inductance. So the inductors, it basically hinders the charge of current passing through it. So if it's if the current is increasing, it's going to try to hinder that increase trend. And the opposite is true as well. If it's if the current is decreasing, it's going to try to decrease that trend, or it's going to decrease it's going to hinder the decreasing trend of current. So, and that's why we're going to need a diode later on. But here's motors, our other device is the motor. It converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. You've got two parts. You've got the stator and the rotor. The stator is the outer part, the casing, and then you've got the rotor, which is the rotating part. Let's see. Oh, you can reverse the polarity to reverse the direction of the motor as well. We're bringing in the breadboard power as well. So the breadboard power is kind of neat. We can send it either 3.4 or 5 volts using an external power source, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But we have to be very careful here. We're going to make sure that we have these set on both sides. And we're also going to be plugging in a 9-volt battery option here. Say option, it's really not optional, you need that. So let's go down, and here's what it looks like. So we have, this should be a little bit familiar right here. So we have our button, and our button is connected over here. This basically pulls it down to, it makes sure that we've got a clear low. So in its default state, you're going to be high actually. So it's going to pull up to high, and that's going to be on 15. So your input will be pin 15 will be set as an input, 14 will be set as an output, and that's going to control the relay. So we're going to go over here, and we've got our transistor. Remember the transistor, once we apply power to here, it's going to connect those two circuits, or connecting our ground to our power, essentially. And when we do that, in other words, when it gets the signal from here, we're going to turn on our LED, and we're also going to feed, we're going to complete the circuit for the motor, and it's going to fire the motor. So that is essentially it. Look over here. We're going to be using 5-volt power over here because we're using a lower power circuit, which is our 3.3 to control our higher power circuit over here. So over here, we're setting this to 5 volts. We're going to be setting this one to off up here. So we're not, the power here is not feeding the top line. Power up here is coming from our Pico at 3.3 and also from the ground. On the bottom, we've got ground coming from the Pico, and we've got the power coming from our power supply here on the breadboard, which is our 5 volt. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So let's take a look at our code for this, and our code looks like the following. It's pretty simple. We're setting up our relay on pin 14. The input, like I said before, is going to be on 15. We've got a reverse relay here, which is going to reverse the value on there, and which is going to turn it on or off essentially. And then we're going to be waiting, and we're going to say, hey, so button value is high. It should be 1 when it's not being pressed. So if it's not 1, in other words, if it's being pressed, we're going to sleep 20 milliseconds. Why are we doing that? That's to debounce it. Remember, when we're pushing a button, you're going to be getting a lot of different readings in there, thousands of readings. So we're debouncing it. So we're basically sleeping for 20 milliseconds. And then we're checking again and saying, hey, is it still in that state that we thought it was? If it is, then we're going to reverse the relay. In other words, we're going to turn it on and we're going to turn it off. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to check, see if it's still, check the value, go to sleep. Then we're going to repeat. So this is our loop here. We're basically just looking to turn it on or off. So that's all there is to the code. Now let's get to the build. This is the fun / not fun part. So let me go ahead and stop sharing here. And here is our naked breadboard with only the Pico on it right now. So what I want to do is get a couple of things set up. Let's see. I will take a look here. I'm going to go ahead and start putting a couple of components on the board. I want to put our handy dandy little button over there. So I'll put our button on here. Let's just say it's let's just drop it. See if we can bend a pin. Then we'll just stick this over here. We'll cross over there. I'm using the small pin or the small button that we used before, but a lot of people are using the larger buttons. And by all means, you can do that. Not a problem. And then we'll go down a little bit further and, well, a lot further, and we'll put in our relay. So our relay is here. Make sure you get the orientation right. It does matter. You can look at the bottom. You can see you got the 2 pins side by side here and the one over here. This is the correct orientation. We're going to move this down here. Let's say over to here on the first numbered pin. Oh, this doesn't go that deep, guys. So yeah, it's a shallow seat on that one. It's not like the other ones that dug down to the center of the earth. So we've got that on there. Now let's take our handy dandy, and remember, do not have this plugged into your power source yet. So you've got these little vampire taps on here. So we're going to go ahead and plug these into the, we're going to plug these in over here. All right, so we've got that plugged in. And then another component that we were supposed to make ready is this. And we've got a good old 9-volt battery. You can test them by putting your tongue across the things and see if it shocks you. Ha ha, don't do that. But so here we go. We've got that plugged in. Everything's ready to go. We just plug that in over here. But we're not going to do that just yet. We don't want power running to it. Right now, we want to start setting things up. So let's start working on our power and ground. Oh, well, first of all, before we do that, we've got to set up our pins on here. So the pin on the top is going to be off because we're going to be relying on our power and ground up here. So we're going to take these, this little hat, this little connector. We're going to connect the middle pins on here. And if you connect the middle pins, and I'm going to need to, I'll bring it up here to the camera to show you, but you just slip it onto the middle 2 pins, and we have effectively turned this off. So that turns off power going on the top. Now we want to turn to 5-volt only on the bottom. And to do that, we're going to do the other side. So we're going to move the pins just like this. And whoops, that's not quite it. I just turned it off. We need to go to the other extreme, get the last 2 pins there. And by doing that, we have turned on the 5-volt power for the bottom. So we don't want to plug that in because we don't want power going into anything yet. So now that we have done that, there's peace and happiness in the world. Let's go and take a look. Let's start with our power. So I'm going to go over here and pull a bunch of small red cables. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run 3.3 power over here. We're going to run that into the outside rail. And that's the only one that we're going to have up there. We're going to do a ground, and let me find a nifty neat little ground. So we're going to run ground from, let's say, this pin right here. And I've seen a lot of people that are not using their stickers, and God bless you, I don't know how you can do it. But if I don't have these stickers here telling me I just don't have the patience to count pins over. When we get messy configurations, you really want that sticker on there. Don't hurt yourself, just put the sticker on. So we've got power and ground there. Now let's go down to the bottom. We have a lot of grounding going on the bottom. So let's go ahead and start setting those up. We've got our ground, and the ground's going to be in the outer rail. So we're going to go over here. We're going to set up ground, and we're going to go into the outer rail here. So I've got ground going into outer. And then I'm going to go to the, I'm going to set up another short one. Let me find a short black one. If I do have any short black ones, hold on just a second. Oh, here we go. So I've got a short black one over here. We're going to run from the pin on our button. We're going to run that into the outer. And then we're also going to, okay, so now I'm going to have to place our transistor. So our transistor is going to go, let's see, where should we put our transistor? Let's put it over here. Separate out the pins a little bit on there. That's a little bit too spread, but let's see. All right, so we've spread our pins a little bit. Let's try to get it into 3 consecutive holes here. Oops. Did I get it? Hold on. There, got it right there. All right, so the next we're going to run is from there. Hold on, let me find another as short as I can find black cable. Oh, here we've got another one. Yeah, we've got another one. So I'll take another ground and I'll go from the pin over here. I'll go from the furthest left pin and I'll run that into ground as well. And where else do we have a ground? That's it for there. So now we're going to do our power off of the bottom. And remember, the power is coming from the 5-volt here on the inner power rail. So we're going to be hooking up 4 of them, and we're going to have to place some components in order to do that. The first, well, 2 of them we can run already. 2 of them we can run from here, simply from there, and we'll run it into the inner rail. And let me find another short wire. So we'll run from the second pin over here. This will run into power as well. So we've got those 2 set. Now we're going to have to set a couple of other things in here. Might as well go ahead and put our, this is important to remember. You've got your positive end and you've got your negative end here. So the positive is going to be your longer one. So let's go ahead and plant this in over, let's say here. So we're planting that, and we're going to put, let's see. All right, for here, we're going to have to, we're going to run, there's 2 components that we need to put in. This is our diode right here. Let's go ahead and prep our diode. And the diode is going to go from, let's say, the bottom of here into here. Need to connect something in the middle there. Actually, let me just move our LED up to the top there. But I've got our diode here, and I have a 220 resistor that we're going to use to connect the other leg. So we've got that here. Okay, so now we're in both sides, looks good. So the power is going to run thusly. We're going to go to the other side here. We'll just put them one after the other, and we're going to put that into the inner rail, which is getting that 5 volt. Then we're going to look around, see if we've got another short one, and we do. So that one is going to run from our resistor into, again, the, I can put them next to each other, that won't hurt. So those are going next to each other there. So that completes our power setup there. So now we need to do a couple of 10Ks up here. So our 10Ks are going to be for the pull down or pull up as it is. Let's pull out two 10K resistors. Trying to do this without being too messy, but that may be a lost cause at this point. So we've got our two 10K resistors there. I'm going to carefully put everything back away into bags so that I don't get these all confused. So we'll take one 10K resistor, and that one is going to run from, a place that we haven't even set up yet. So let's go ahead and check this out. So we're going to do, the first one is going to go from the top rail's power. It's going to go down to the, so we're going to go from the top rail power. We're going to go into this lane right there. So what we're doing here is we're going to be running power to the button there. Okay. And then the other one is going to run, the next one is going to run, let's say our, it's going to go here to, well, hold on. It's going to go, it's connecting something that's not there. So let me go ahead and put that in. I'm going to run an orange wire for this. So this is going to be our 15. So we're doing 15 is our input. We're going to run that over to here. So for this, we're just going to put it like right there. So we'll put this in series with it. We're going to put this over here, but yeah, like that. And then we're going to have to put the other side here, I believe. So, yep. So we've got these. So you want your two resistors to be in series here, and you want this to be in series with that. So we have those connected properly. Now what next? Now we need to connect our transistor here over to our LED. So we'll use a, let's see, I don't have any small, I'll just use a small white one for this. So we will take our transistor, the right side, and we're going to run that over to where our diode is. So between the diode, between the diode and the LED, right there. Now I still haven't done what I need to do over here. So the middle, if you look at our transistor, we don't have the connector yet for that one. So that's going to be controlled by pin 14. So pin 14, I will go ahead and put a, I'm going to go ahead and punch into 14 over here. And this is going to go over to the middle row on that, but I'm going to set it up right over here. Boom. And I'm going to need a resistor to go over there. So I'm going to need a 1K resistor. So I will pull out my bag with the 1K resistors in it. And I'll pull out a magical resistor. Bend it to my needs. And I'm going to connect as best as I can the middle here, oops, the middle to the other side. Ruh-roh raggy, can we do it? Nope, not very good, eh? Oh, I think I got it. Alrighty, so I'm in line there. That seems to work. So I will pull it up to here. You can see that I have it on both sides there. So it appears that we have this working, I think, except that not fully done here yet. So there's a couple things I need to do. Our handy dandy little motor is kind of necessary for this. So our motor, we're going to use some of those male to female connectors. So the female connector goes onto the motor, and then you have your two connectors here. So let's see what is what here. And I don't know what the orientation of this is. Let's see, hold on. They have free nove on it. I'm just going to try to look here on our wires to see what it is. It doesn't say, but I'm guessing that it's just going to go one way or the other, polarity switching what it is. So I'll go ahead and plug one into the, one end into here in the near rail. So I've got one end in the near rail, and I've got the other one, which is going to go into the first line here. But now that I've got in the first line, I also need to connect the circuit over here. So I need to, well, actually, I need to connect the circuit off of the second input there, the second pin. And I'm going to run this over to, where am I going to run that to? I'm going to run it over to the other end of our diode, right there. So that should do it, theoretically. So I should have, yeah, I should have two connecting that. All right, so let's look this over before we try doing anything. Because remember, you want to measure twice, cut once. So let's make sure that we have everything set up here. So our power, we have one power and one ground on here. We also have the resistor going into the power, that's right. Then down on the bottom, we have 1, 2, 3 grounds and 4 powers, that's correct. We have our wire here controlling that. We've got our other wire over here, goes into there. Got the resistors for the pull down to initialize that and make it safe. We've got our button in the center. We've got our transistor over here with all three things. And let's take a look and make sure that they are all correctly set up. Yeah, that looks right. So all three sides of that seem okay. And then we have our LED there. Everything is in line. The resistors are right over to the power side. I think we have it here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to plug in power. And our little green light is on. So we have power coming here. I'm going to plug in our USB-A connector. And I don't smell bacon. I don't see anything I don't see anything going nuts here. So let's see what happens. All right, let's pull up our code editor. I'm using the handy dandy VS Code. I'm going to run it, and nothing happens because it's waiting. If I push that, here goes. Oh my, there we go. How is that? This is the glass table, so I'm gonna pick it up and see how it goes. Yeah, a lot quieter. I don't know if you can hear that. Whee! Then when I hit it again, turns off. But notice how your LED is an indicator that your thing is running. Isn't that neat? Reminds me of being in the dentist's office. Ah! Anyway, that concludes our video. If you have any questions, feel free to get back to me and send me an email. I'd be happy to help out. But this concludes 17.1. I hope you enjoy it. But remember, a couple caveats. Make sure that you get your pins here correct. Make sure that you get the orientation of this correct. Make sure you've got power to ground, ground to power going right everywhere. Make sure all of your resistors are the right resistors. A lot of people are using those a little bit willy-nilly. Make sure they're right. And I've seen a lot of people running power to ground, ground to power. Don't do that. Be very careful, go slow, and just make sure that everything is done, you know, slowly, methodically, meticulously, and you should do very well. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.